rap. She'll talk about that. Now, in addition to that, she is also a black belt in martial arts. Third degree black belt. What does that mean? That means that she is really good at beating people up if they mess up. That is the most elementary way to describe her. Yeah. Well, she's very disciplined. You don't want to mess with her when you meet her, 1-to-1, right? But in all seriousness, she's very disciplined. She knows about work ethic, and she's just a great role model, all around role model. All right. So without further ado, let me bring up to the stage Miss Leah Garcia. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Erica, King of Collaboration. Well, this is so incredible. I mean, Eric said to give you 3 golden nuggets, but I'm feeling generous today because we got a bonus weekend. I'm going to give you a bonus, okay? So put a 1 in the chat if you love bonuses. I love it when I go through the drive-thru and they give me an extra cheeseburger or an extra fry. So who doesn't love a bonus? We're talking about game-changing skills for building a business, a successful business. How many of you want to have a successful business? There are a lot of people that have businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, but who's really being successful? So I'm going to give you 3 golden nuggets. Number 1, pattern over profit. Pattern recognition over profits. The average entrepreneurs react. Elite ones recognize patterns. When the revenue dips, amateurs discount their price. When markets wobble, amateurs freeze. When a client hesitates, amateurs talk more. But champions, they observe. They've seen this movie before. They track their behavior. They study the cycles. They understand timing. They don't ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, where have I seen this before? Business isn't random, it's rhythmic. Number 2, energy allocation, not time management. We've heard so much about time management, but really it's about managing our energy. Energy allocation is executive level. You can make more money. You can't make more life force. Revenue tasks deserve your peak energy. Admin tasks don't. And for some conversations, they cost more than they pay. Protect your mornings like your premium real estate. Schedule hard decisions when you're sharp. Guard your focus like your dynasty. Number 3, financial translation. This is good. What do things cost you? This one separates business owners from hobbyists. Revenue is vanity. Cash flow is oxygen. High achievers don't just look at numbers, they translate them. They understand the cost of acquisition, lifetime value, because profit isn't what you make, it's what you can spend. Here's a bonus. Number 3, this one is good. Put a star by this, underline this. Listen to the silence. Here is a separator. Average people listen to what's said. Champions listen for what is missing. They notice the hesitation before they say yes. The question that wasn't asked. High achievers don't just hear words, they detect the gaps because often the real words lives in the silence. When a prospect says, I'll think about it, the amateur hears delay. The champion hears uncertainty and asks one more clarifying question. Success is not about grinding harder, it's about thinking deeper. See the patterns, guard your energy, translate the numbers, and listen between the lines. Because the world doesn't need the loudest voice, it rewards the sharpest awareness. And Rumi says, the quieter you become, the more you're able to hear. Opportunities whisper before they roar, so lean in. This is your year to get in the mix. Come out of the shadows, because your wealth today could be your dynasty tomorrow. With that, I hand it back to you, Mr. Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. That was powerful. We appreciate that. Great way to kick off the morning. All right, folks. So as I could see, some of you cannot get on LinkedIn. I don't know what's going on there. But here's the thing. If you're on YouTube, share this on LinkedIn. Okay? If you're on YouTube, share this on LinkedIn. So what I did is I shared it. I shared the YouTube link on LinkedIn. If you don't know where it is, go to Eric F. King on YouTube, and you'll see we're live there, and then just send it to wherever you want to send it. All right, but we're gonna keep going. Welcome, Carlene. I see some people are getting on. Coral is on YouTube, and like I said, you still have an opportunity to watch this live. All right, so we're gonna keep going. Now we are going to go to London, England for our next speaker. And this gentleman, look, bottom line is he makes people famous online. All right, especially on LinkedIn. he introduced me to this incredible world of LinkedIn. Where I mean, when I met him, I don't know how many people I had connected, maybe 1,000 or so, or a couple thousand. Now it's well over 14,000 because of of what he's helped with, right? So you want to learn from him. He also teaches you how to write books, right? I'm not going to steal his thunder. He does a lot, but gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Any Usong. The floor is yours.
I tell you, it's a juicy topic, right? Queen Leah, great share. Hello, my friends. You're gonna have to combine everything we say. So there's no point us using our valuable time to repeat what someone else has already said, right? So I'm gonna give you three things, I guess, three skills I wish I knew when I started my business. Some I'm learning recently. Now listen carefully, please, because some of them is not how maybe it's not how you thought about it. Here goes. Here goes. Eric, the biggest thing that kills businesses, as Quilia said, is thinking. It's how we think, right? Our thoughts. See, we have these thoughts that I call the dark nights of the soul. Beware of them. They bring everyone down. Those monsters. Now, it's your thoughts, right? They'll haunt you every night when no one's looking. It's the thoughts that say to you, "You can't do this. That's a bit too hard for you. Why don't you slow down? Maybe don't. Let's not work today. You're tired, right? You feel ached. You're not right. Nothing's right. You know, it's our fears, my friends. Our fears and our traumas. You have to fight them every day and win. See, you see us three here now. You see other people who run businesses next, around you, right? And they look confident. They're happy. They're go-getters. They defeat their demons first, and they defeat their demons every day. You have to defeat your demons too. That's probably your biggest task in business. If you miss that, I fear for you, right? The second thing I will say, when it comes to running a business, for sure, is I think we need to learn how to get things done. We were talking about this last week, the habits. What's your routine? What's your routine? What's your system? How do you plan to get what you need to get done? How do you know you're going to get it done? My friends, we all need a system. We need a system that's repeatable, that keeps us consistent, and that's what helps us make progress and achieve. You must create a system. You must create a routine. When you wake up, what do you do? What's the first thing you do? Brush your teeth, maybe, right? What about your business? What's the first thing you do in your business every day? Oh, you don't? Oh well, that's my point, right? You have to have the first thing I do every day is this, and then I'll do the next thing, then I'll do the next thing. These are the core tasks that you must do every day in business. Whether you call it marketing, whether you call it, prospecting, whether you call it, refining your IT, either way, you need to doing revenue generating tasks amongst other things. Don't be dicking around with your website. Don't be dicking around with your brand colors yet again. Do the things that really matter every day. Every day. If you don't create that system, other things will get in your way, my friend. Other things will create the system for you. Before you know it, when something goes wrong, whether it's in business or in your family, or in your friends, you attend to that because you don't know what you're doing next. You have no system. You might as well get blown about by the wind, right? Create a system that's repeatable, dependable, and helps you to achieve the key tasks to achieve your goal. The third one, I could choose so many, but I will say that for the third one, I will say the same thing, right? My friends, you need to learn the business of running a business. This business thing, it doesn't happen by itself. There's things you must do. Now, I said a couple of them. You have to generate revenue. No income, no business. You're bankrupt. You have to genuinely, you have to learn how to create a business plan. You have to learn how to strategize. You have to learn how to manage yourself before you can manage people. For you must manage people one day, otherwise you can't grow, right? You must manage people. I mean, look, I'm as guilty as anyone to think I want to do it myself, but I can't do it all myself. Even if you have the system that I talked about in my last point, you need to find a way to learn how to run their business. You know, your numbers, for example. Do you even know what your numbers are? Do you know why they matter? Quillia said that it's what you don't, it's what you can afford to spend that matters. There's a word for that in business. It's called profits. That's it, but that's after the tax man, right? You have to know how to run a business, to generate income, to get people to do the right things, and you to do the right things, and then serve your customers. My God, that's a whole different ball game, right? What about your partners? And your suppliers? Business, my friend, is a skill in itself. Do these three things. Learn how to run a business. Create a routine and defeat your demons. These are the entrepreneur's primary tasks. That's me, Eric.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I think we have something for you here. Here we go. Okay.
Oh,
that wasn't the one I wanted to play.
I like that.
That's what I want. Oh, look, folks. Look, folks, we're just having fun here, okay? All right. So I think you guys can actually see me. I think I'm not even moving now. But anyway, you can hear me. Nothing's going to distract us, all right? Nothing is going to distract us. We are going to share this message with you today. Again, we are on YouTube, so definitely share this with your LinkedIn friends. I appreciate all of you that got on from that came from LinkedIn, and now you're on YouTube with us. All right, so here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is I am going to share some points that I have here, and then we're going to answer your questions. We are definitely going to answer your questions. I see that Carl has put some questions in here. Welcome, Eric Doby. I see you on YouTube. Appreciate you being here. All right. So what I want to share today are three, and like Annie said, there are a lot of skills you need in business. There's not one thing, right? But I'm going to tell you three things you need to be successful in business that you probably don't hear everybody talk about. And this is based on my 25 years of experience, right? So this is what I've done. It's not like I just pull it up on ChatGPT or something. This is what I've done, okay? All right, so number one thing you need, one skill you need to be super successful in business is this. You need to be able to stay motivated in the face of adversity. Oh my goodness. That could be a book. That could be a book right there. I'm telling you. I think I just wrote a book right now. Hold on, let me write this down so I don't forget. I wrote a book. This is a book. That's my book. How to stay motivated in face of adversity. Let me tell you why that is so crucial. So, when I was working at a job, even the jobs I didn't like, I was motivated to keep going because they were sending me that paycheck every 2 weeks. That paycheck motivated me. So I'm like, let's get back on the horse. Even though I couldn't stand the job, I didn't even like the manager or the supervisor, but that kept me going. Another thing that kept me going is most of us didn't like the job, but we would hang out and complain about the same job, but we're complaining together. So that kept me going. Right. So like we're by the water cooler and we're complaining, but it's fun to complain with people. I mean, you know what I mean? So I had a group of complainers and that was one of them, right? But that kept me going. But when you have your own business, it can be lonely. There's nobody to complain to. Are you going to complain to your own clients? No. Are you going to complain to the people you hired? No, you can't do that, right? So it's hard, right? And every day you second guess yourself, right? Maybe the reason he didn't buy is because my price is too high. Maybe my product is not good enough. Maybe it's my hair. Well, in my case, I don't ever have any, but you know what I mean? What something, you know what I mean? So you're like, maybe look, I talked to 10 people, 9 people said no. Maybe that means this is not going to work. That's not what it means. It just means you have to find the another more people like the one that bought. That's all, right? So let me just add this to it. The way you do that is by number one, hanging around the right people, other entrepreneurs, just like you are on this call today, that will keep you going. And being around positive people. Don't share your business with negative people, because they're gonna bring down the negativity towards you, right? All right. So that's number one. Number two skill you need to learn to be highly successful in business is public speaking. I know some of you right now, you just checked out. You're like, okay, Eric, I don't want to hear that part. Let me tell you something. It's important. Public speaking is crucial. Why? Because there are a lot of people that do what you do. And most of them don't like to speak about it. Most of them don't get on video. Most of them don't like to share. They just keep it there. They're a secret agent. I just want you to know I sell this stuff, just in case you want to know. You know what I mean? Secret agents. So, but this is what public speaking did for me. I would talk to one person and they're like, no, it's not for me. I talk to 2, not for me. Talk to 3, no, not. I'll go to like 10 or 15 before I get one. That's exhausting. But when I learned public speaking, I would talk to a group and I would get like 8 sales. I'm like, wow, I should have been doing this a long time, right? So you want to learn public speaking. And public speaking doesn't have to be you standing on a stage in an auditorium. On what we're doing right now is public speaking. What I'm doing right now is public speaking. Even though I'm frozen on LinkedIn, I'm frozen right now, but I'm still public speaking. And if you're listening to me right now, right, it's imperfect, but you can hear me. Right, I'm sending you this message. So this is a great example. I just love when things don't go the right way, because it shows you how how to build a business. Right, this is incredible. This gets me excited. Right, all right. So public speaking, you want to learn. If you're shy or you don't have public speaking skills, hire a public speaking coach, someone that can help you to do so. Because it can make a huge difference. It will make a huge difference in your business and your income. And it also increases your confidence too. You end up believing in yourself more when you can speak to more people at the same time. Okay. Welcome, Paula. Good to see you from Atlanta, Georgia. All right. I was there last week. I should have found out where you are. Anyway, next time. Next time we'll meet. All right. So public speaking, number 2. Okay. And by the way, for those of you that are thinking right now, I wasn't born with the gift of gab, so Eric, it's really not for me. Guess what? Don't give yourself an excuse. Everybody can do that. Public speaking is a learned skill. Okay, it's a learned skill. It doesn't matter how you were born or where you were born. It's a learned skill. Okay, so take that excuse off the table and throw it away. All right, good. Now number three is time strategy and time relations. People are like, what do you mean by that? Most people say time management, but I learned from my good friend. Okay, I have a good friend who will be speaking on my stage next week, and she talks about time strategy and time relations. In other words, we all have the same amount of time, but you have to be able to accomplish your goals within the time you have, right? You're not managing the time, but you're doing it strategically. Okay, and she is a master at that, and I can't wait to introduce you to her next week. Okay, time strategy. So yeah, you need to know how to manage your time, and let me tell you why. So again, let's use the job example. When I was at the job, let's say I'm there 8 hours, right? My goal is just to get through the day, right? To get through the day, even if I'm not productive, I really don't care. It's not my company. I just want to get through the day. Right? Because if I get through the day, I know it's going to be in my paycheck. Right? But business is different. If you're not productive, you won't make any money. So you can't just be getting through days. You have to be productive. Like for me, income producing activities is priority for me. Right? If it doesn't make me money, it's going to be put on the back burner for a long time. right? So you need to learn how to strategize so that your time is well spent, and we're going to help you with that next week. All right. So those are the three tips I want to give you. I want to give you. And thank you so much, Leah. I see Leah is clapping for me. Maybe I can even clap for me. Let me see if I can clap for myself here. Let me see. Let me see if this is even possible. Let's see. Yeah. And by the way, I didn't figure this out early, so we didn't clap for Leah. So here you go, Leah. This is for you. This is for you. All right. All right. Yeah. So like I was saying, those are the 3 points. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go around the room, and I want to hear from my speakers before we get to the questions. Let us know what you're doing right now, how you're helping people, and then I have a big, well, it's not an announcement. You guys know about next week, but I want to share some very important details about my event next week. All right, so we're gonna go to Leah first, then Annie. If you can share real quickly, and then we'll come back and answer questions. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Eric. And I appreciate the applause. I love the applause. So this is February. It's the month of love, and it's the month we're talking about the love letter. And I just dropped my free ebook, the Solo 401k, and how you can use it. And what does that have to do with the love letter? The love letter is life insurance, Solo 401k, and the life insurance. Did you know your Solo 401k could pay for your life insurance? It's huge. It's a gold bar. So get my free ebook. And with that, we're going to hear from Mr. Eddie. What are you up to, Godfather?
And the flyer behind me says it all. Our Author Speakers Conference is coming. It's coming. So we're selling tickets. So our speakers are ready. Even our Zoom link is ready, right? So it's time to get your tickets, my friends. And it's time to buy your tickets to come and join our 6 speakers on the 26th. So two Thursdays away. It's not this Thursday, next Thursday. Come and join us. Come and get inspired. So I put authors, I guess, on stages, in real life, but we're starting on Zoom on Thursday. It's going to be magical. Do join us.
All right. Thank you so much. Leah, did you actually talk about what you? Yeah, you did. Oh, that was quick. That was quick. Okay, that was great. All right, so thank you. I can't wait for that conference. I'm going to be there. I cannot wait. You do so much to help so many people, and I would miss it for the world. So thank you for putting that together. All right. Yeah. So now I'm going to share with you. Some of you already know this, but let me be the first to tell you if you don't know this. Next week on Monday, so 7 days from today, I am hosting Impact and Influence. The best event I've ever done in my life. I started doing events in 2001, so that's 25 years ago or so. All right. Why is this going to be different? Because the caliber of speakers is out of this world. Okay. And you all get to hear from multiple speakers in multiple different areas. All right. So real quick, I'm going to just share a few of them. All right. So there's a lady that like I said, talk about time strategy. What she is going to teach you can change your business entirely, like literally make you way more money, literally 6 figures or more. Why? Because she teaches you how to strategize your time. Okay. We have a speaker talking about how to be an effective public speaker. Remember I talked about that? She's one of the best in the world at this. Okay. She's one of the best in the world. And she will teach you how to be an effective public speaker, whether it's online or in person. Okay. I talked about staying motivated. We have a gentleman who was born with what most people would call disability. And he has taken that and become super successful in life. And now he speaks all over the world to inspire people. You see, that's the kind of person I'm bringing to the stage, right? And by the way, all these people are flying in from all over the country to my studio in North Carolina, but you all get to see them live for free on Zoom. And Carl, if you can put the link in the chat. So if you can't find it, because we're going to put it in YouTube right now, go to my page, Eric F. King on LinkedIn, and you'll see it. Like, it's all over my page. Just scroll down. It's all over. But we'll put it again this morning, okay? So you can register for free. This is your last opportunity. Register for free. And by the way, we once the Zoom is full, we can't let anybody else in. So you want to be there early so you get in, right? Because you may not be able to get in. All right. All right. So we have a speaker who will be talking about. Well, first of all, he's a former Harlem Globetrotter. So he's one of the Harlem Globetrotter basically means one of the most athletic people in the world, right? He would play basketball, one of the most athletic people in the world. He will be talking about how to stay fit, how to work out from the comfort of your home, so you don't even have to go out, right? So you're gonna learn from him. You're gonna learn from a lady who will teach you about writing your books, right? Just like Annie does. She's a best-selling book writer and consultant. And then there's a lady that'll teach you about intimacy and connection. That's powerful, right? Everybody wants that, right? Now she won't get too deep, okay, because it's a family show. But I've told her that if you get too deep, I'm kicking you off the stage, right? And I don't like to do that. but in all seriousness, she's a wonder. She's helped a lot of people in their relationships. Yeah, she's gonna be there to help you as well. Okay, we have a lady talking about mental health and how to prioritize your mental health. That's important. Like I never thought about that. I used to just think, just go out and build your business. But mental health is important. Don't let the wrong, if so, don't let someone that's mean, like if you have someone you're talking to and the person's mean, get off the Zoom. You don't have to take that. You don't have to take that. Walk away. Stand up and leave. Your business is not that important. All right. All right. So those are a few examples. How can I forget? How can I forget? We have a lady that's talking about the number one topic in the world right now, AI. She is an AI specialist. She will not only teach you about AI or how to use AI, she will also teach you how to make money with AI. That's key, right? She's one of the best in the world, and she will be live in our studio, right? Again, free information. So go to it's a long link, so it's successwitheric.com/impact and influence. So it's pretty long. So just go to my site, go to my page, and you'll find it. Or go to Coral's page and she'll find it. Okay. But register today. You don't want to miss it. All right. So that's what I want to share, folks, in terms of the of what I have going on. I'm super excited. I met with all the speakers, by the way. The presentations are powerful. Like I'm so excited for you all. I'm excited for each and every one of you that comes to this event. It starts at 10, so it's going to be like 10 to 2. Now, you don't have to stay for the whole thing. I don't want you to say, oh, well, Eric, I don't have that kind of time. You don't have to. Just jump in. If you have 12 to 1, jump in at 12, right? So you never know. That may be a good time. Maybe God wants you to just see that 12 to 1, and that's the person you need to hear from. They speak for 20 minutes, so you can actually hear 2 people, right? So want to share that, folks. I hope to see you all on the big screen, and obviously I will shout you out. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get to your questions, and I see Carl has some great questions here. Okay, here we go. Here's the first question. If you had to choose one skill that created the biggest turning point in your business, what would that be? Oh, and this is one skill because there are a lot of skills, but one skill. So I love this question. So I'll let Leah go first, and then Annie, and then I'll chime in as well. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Leah.
Yeah, for sure. Closed mouths don't get fed. And what I mean by that is, Eric alluded to it. It is public speaking. Now, you may not be, I don't even want to say you may not be ready because you're never ready. You may not feel that you're ready to be maybe doing a whole show, but maybe you can public speak in your church. Maybe you can public speak at a volunteer event. Maybe you can find some little area where you can public speak. Join Toastmaster. Learn how to public speak in front of people. Maybe it's in front of your family, but I think that is a one skill that is that depleting skill. If you either use it or you're going to lose it. So find spaces and places where you could actually have conversations publicly. And now we're going to hear from Godfather.
I agree entirely. It is that confidence. I say I talked about, the dark nights of the soul, and that's all about being honest with yourself. and going with what your God-given gift. But ultimately, it's been I wish I'd found myself earlier. We think we have, think we do, right? The problem is that when no one's looking, we doubt ourselves. Deep down, we're like, oh. And then that leads to all sorts of crazy stuff that we don't do, all that we do. Distractions, time wasting, procrastination, doubt, fear, all those things come into when we don't feel confident. And public speaking is one of those things that we talk ourselves out of. I'm saying finding my confidence is the biggest turning point in my business, and that probably only happened recently, really, to be honest. So it's a journey for everyone. It's not going to happen overnight. And it's not once and done. You have to constantly batter yourself and to keep reminding yourself, you got this. There's a reason you're doing this. This is your destiny. This is your greatness you're living, right? And the rest will flow.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much, Godfather. And to add to those, I would say, well, I guess you can put it into one. Sales and marketing, you can put it into one. And I think I can get away with that. Why? Because if you know how to sell but you can't market, it doesn't matter because nobody sees what you're doing. And if you know how to market and you can't sell, it doesn't matter because everybody sees what you're doing, but you don't know how to get them to actually buy, right? So minimum 85% of your time, sales and marketing, minimum. Right? So I just taught you something that some of you are like, wow, really? Yeah, really, right? Because people say, well, Eric, I have a bit. I said, what's your business? I have a business of blah, blah. I have a business of this and that. Well, actually, your business is your clients, the people you talk to, right? So if you're not talking to people, you don't actually have a business. You have a concept, right? You have a concept, and concepts don't pay the bills. Right? Concepts don't pay the bills. So yeah, you want to learn how to market and sell your offers, and we help you with that here. We actually help you with that, right? You come to the event next week, you're going to learn about that as well, right? So that was the biggest turning point. Well, for me, I have a background in sales, so it helped me. But knowing that I was able to do that really helped me to launch my business, and my business is even the business I do now. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I want to share that with you. All right. Oh, by the way, for those of you that don't know what I do, so I run StudioSpeaking.com. StudioSpeaking.com is the #1 platform in the world for speakers, coaches, and authors to share their expertise and sell their offers. Okay, so it's a live studio where people come in to speak. If you want to learn more about it, go to StudioSpeaking.com. 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 And we have a short video. We made it easy for you. We have a short video. Watch it and they'll tell you all about it. All right. All right. So let's keep going. We have another question by Carlene. Carlene, she asked, what's the fastest way someone can begin strengthening one of these skills this week? And I like the fact that she said this week, because that means she has a sense of urgency, right? People have goals and they're like, well, someday I'll do this, someday, and that day never comes. But this week, right? What is the fastest way to begin strengthening one of these skills this week? All right, we're gonna go with Leah, then Annie.
Amazing question, Carlene. I saw that and I got chills. I love that because I feel your sense of urgency. What I would say is that we all know what the one thing that we need to do. We all know what that skill is, the one that shakes your legs, the one that you fear the most, and find opportunities. Reach out to people. It's only 6 degrees of separation. Somebody needs what the skill that you need to develop. Find a partner to work with. Role play it. Ask for conversations. And I really do think that the gold is in the public speaking ability. Reach out to me. I'm always looking for speakers on Wealthy Wednesday. And when I say that, people say, well, you know what, Leah, I'm just not ready yet. I need to practice a little bit. I need to do something. No, you said take action. Let's take massive action. Let's go. All right. Godfather's going to drop some gold right now. I can't wait to hear what he has to say on this one.
I like that. Look, it all comes down to just doing, right? But take the first step. Don't just listen and do nothing. Now take this step today. Now, again, be honest with yourself, right? A lot of us who will spend time watching videos on YouTube, reading blogs. Some even go to different rooms, right? Sometimes you're gonna learn something. So that's a step, right? But what is the real truth for you? How much input do you need? Queen Leah said, talk to people who've been there. Yes, the network. Join a mastermind. Talk to people who are running businesses. Of course, but don't hesitate to go the real step that might be needed, which is to invest in learning. Is it a course? Is it a workshop? Is it as like Eric's conference, my conference? Is it getting yourself a coach? Don't lie to yourself. If you want to make fundamental change, you're gonna have to get someone to help you, and sometimes that costs money. That's it. That's the truth, right?
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And that's right, right? Don't fool yourself. Don't lie to yourself. you know, um, sense of urgency is important to do something today. And what I would say is once you determine what you need help with, take action. Take action. Sometimes people tell me, they say to me, they're like, Eric, you're such a natural. Like, you're a great speaker, you're good at sales, you're good at marketing. And they don't realize that I learned all these skills. I paid people to teach me all these skills. Someone asked me, he said, well, can you teach me about email marketing? Like, I paid someone to help me with that. Doing videos. I paid a guy named Mark to teach me how to do videos online, right? Even LinkedIn. Before I met Annie, I paid this lady, what's her name? Gloria. Her name was Gloria. I paid her to teach me how to do LinkedIn, right? So you can't just think you're just gonna learn everything, just by osmosis, or you gotta teach something. You gotta go out there, pay someone to teach you. Do you know what happens when you actually pay someone? You get serious about it. You get serious. When you pay someone, you show up, right? So don't do it for them. Do it for yourself. I've never paid someone for them. Like, my goal wasn't to make you rich. When I paid any, my goal wasn't to make him rich. He's a nice guy, but that wasn't my goal, to make him money. My goal was to learn from him. That was my goal, right? So that's what I would say. Decide today. Take baby steps. Just take a step. Take a step. Say, okay, you know what, Annie? I'm going to come to that event of yours, right? That's a baby step. Then you get there. You're like, wow. I just saw the importance of writing a book. I'm going to take another step, Annie, and I want to write my first book. What's the first step I need to take, right? And that, before you know it, you have a bestseller. That's what I did. Okay, all right, keep going. That's right. Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so let's see. Let's go to another question. We have another question here by Coral, and she says, do your top skills complement each other? Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. I think I can talk for everybody when I say yes, but let's find out from them how they complement each other, because I'm sure they complement each other for sure. So, great question. We'll go with Queen Leah and then Annie for sure.
Yes, fantastic question, Coral. And I would just say this. We're talking about skills. That means that you can develop these. Maybe you wouldn't be the top speaker in the world, but you can definitely have greater conversations. I think my best skills are really being developing relationships with people. Most of my clients, especially if they've been with me, a couple of years, they really become more like friends and family. And so that's a skill that I've developed, is how to really connect with people, how to really translate my energy to them. And then public speaking, well, then you kind of do that on another level, right? When I'm here, I'm really attempting to bring value. I'm not here just to have a conversation to hear myself speak. I'm here to bring value and to connect with you. And hopefully I'm doing that at some level and some degree, but I'm in the process, and just know that we're all in the process. Great question, Coral. And now we're going to hear from the one and only Mr. Annie. Let's see what you got for us. I know it's wisdom here.
I do like that. So that's a great question, Coral. Yeah, I think, look, we're human, right? And there's a simple mechanism that gets us to where we are. It's what we think that leads to what we do, which then makes us feel a way, right? Think, do, feel. That's a basic cycle. So I think our skills have to work. They have to work together, right? Even when we don't think they do, it's an it was subconscious level. And if we don't like what we do, we're not going to do it again. If we don't like what we do, we're probably not going to get the results we want. But if we think we can't, we're kind of we're destroyed already. We've lost. There's no point doing it, right? So I think we have to learn to truly we have to feel good, believe we can, and then do. We're not always going to win when we do, but when we do, we feel even better because we're telling ourselves, we get the dopamine hit of telling ourselves, I'm the one who does stuff. If I do what I say I'll do, I don't let myself down by hiding, by missing appointments and missing important things, and I follow through. That is the biggest trick. That's the biggest skill of all that probably going to get you to do more. And from there, anything's possible, right? That's the truth, my friends. That's the truth.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Annie. So appreciate that. Great question, Coral. Skills that complement each other. So I'm going to give you a practical answer here. So last week I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and I spoke up there, right, using my speaking skills. And someone invited me to a podcast. Nona Carey, you probably saw it on my social media. Nona Carey, she has the Nona Carey show in Atlanta. So here's the thing. So I went on her podcast and used my public speaking skills, right? And what I was doing on the podcast, I was marketing my business. That's marketing right there, right? And then guess what? Then a couple people contacted me after. Then I used my sales skills, right? So I'm using it all. I'm using it all, right? And that's the thing. So all these skills do complement each other for sure. They complement each other, and the more you do it, the better you get at it, right? I want you all to understand that success begets success. What do I mean by that? All right, when you see me on a podcast and you're like, wow, you're so confident, you're so comfortable up there. Wow, this is, I wish I could do that. You don't realize that at one point I wasn't confident, and at one point I wasn't a good speaker, and at one point I was terrified to do that. But because I've done it over and 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 over, I become really good at it, right? So instead of comparing yourself to someone that's at their chapter 10 in their life, when you're at chapter 1, just start at chapter 1 and then go to chapter 2, then go to chapter 3, and that's how you do it. Don't compare yourself to everybody. You look at Leah and look at her shows that she does on LinkedIn, and you're like, wow, she's a natural. She's awesome. Like, wow, I could never in a million years do that. I guarantee you she didn't start out that way. I guarantee you she did not start out that way. She just kept jumping on every week, right? So that's the thing. I want you to just go step by step by step until you get to your desired outcome. All right. And yes, your skills will complement each other. Okay. So great question. All right. I'm trying to see if anybody else asked a question. I don't think so. So let me see. I think Carl has.
Yes. Coral. Yeah, Coral. You got Coral. Go ahead.
Yes. Let's see. If someone felt overwhelmed trying to improve everything at once, how should they prioritize which skills to develop first? Oh, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Okay. So I will put that up, and Leah, and then Annie, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I was thinking of another question, but that's okay. If you feel overwhelmed trying to improve everything, Eric just shared it. It's that take it step by step. Understand that it is over time, right? In karate, we call it kaizen, which is little improvements over time that have big results. The only reason I'm going to say it right here. The only reason I had courage to be live on social media is because I started on LinkedIn. And guess why I started on LinkedIn? Because nobody I knew was on LinkedIn at that point. And so I had the courage to be live on LinkedIn because I figured nobody I know is going to see this, right? Nobody's going to watch it anyway. And so that gave me the courage. So if you have to start in the shadows, that's okay. But understand now, look at, I've just put my live on Facebook. I have never put this show live on my Facebook. LinkedIn wasn't working, so I put it live on my Facebook channel, which is my personal Facebook channel. Now, everybody I know is going to see this, but I didn't start there. So understand, give yourself grace to take the first step. In the dojo, one thing I love is everyone starts as a white belt, no matter where you come from. If you're an athlete, I've seen boxers come in, runners, people that are totally fit come into the dojo. But guess what? No matter what, you all start as a white belt, and we all start as a white belt in business. So give yourself grace, take the first step. Great question. Over to you, Godfather.
I think that's very well said. We'll start off at the beginning. Look, no one could do everything at once. There's no point trying to do it all at once, right? You need to choose one and then prioritize that. Yeah, of course. You say, I'm sure you can work on your mindset, and you can learn how to run a business and also learn how to deliver. But if you want to truly improve any one area, commit to that improvement. Commit to what are you trying to do? What are you going to do? And then just implement, execute, take the actions you need to take, right? And then, when you feel you have some sort of handle, then you can move on to the next priority task. I mean, if I had to choose which one to prioritize to develop first, it's the demon. The demons will get you. The demons are what holds most people back. The demons. The thoughts in your head, in other words, those gremlins, they're always there, right? If you don't defeat those gremlins, everything else fails. I'm not saying, it's the only one. I'm not saying if you did defeat the gremlins, then you're away. That's yes. But you must defeat yourself. You must get out of your own way. And then you give a chance to do the other things that everyone's talked about, focus on customers, focus on your business, and so on and so forth. If you live in fear and anxiety, you never start. That's the thing. That's what I've realized. I've seen people who they never start because they're in their own way, in their own head, and it's like, oh, please, you can do this. And like, no, I can't. And they don't. Strange that. I'll stop talking, Eric.
Wow, that was gold right there. That was gold right there. Especially that fear. Wow, like look, that's what stops most people. Right, let's be real. That's what stops most people from doing anything worthwhile in life. Fear. Fear. It's not just business. In anything, it's fear. Right? So if you're able to overcome that, or not just overcome it, but to face it, not overcome it, but face it, you are 10 steps ahead. Right? Face that fear. Work on yourself more than you work on your business. Face that fear. If you're able to face that fear, then you'll make better decisions too. And another fear is the fear of making a mistake, the fear of looking silly, right? So let me tell you something real quick. When I remember when I started doing videos, right? So I was a speaker on stage for years before I started doing videos on online, and I didn't want to do videos because fear. I guess I didn't want to be recorded. What if I make a mistake? Then it's recorded. So I would do a short video, and I would do like 25 takes. Hi guys, my name is Eric. I don't like how I started. I'm too excited. Hi guys. That's not. I don't even sound right. That's not even me. Good morning. What is that? That's not me. I'm like, Lord have mercy. So I'm doing all these takes, like 20 takes. Do you know one day I did a video and I made a mistake, but I didn't want to do it over because I was almost at the end. So I literally said to everybody, look, I'm not doing this video over. Okay, if you want to just unsubscribe because of my mistake, be my guest because I am not redoing this video. Do you know that was so therapeutic? Now I do videos. It has a mistake or two. I am posting it with the mistake. It doesn't matter. And guess what? I still get followers. People still listen to me. Right? So I think the thing that most people should focus on is being okay with making mistakes. Just be okay with it. Be okay with making mistakes. So what? I've messed up before. I have messed up. The first time I did a speech, and I want to do a speech without my notes, right? Because I used to use a lot of notes. So I had my notes in my pocket, but I said this time I'm not going to use my notes. I got halfway through the speech and I forgot half the speech. So I'm like, hold on, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on one second. So I went into my pocket and got my notes. But guess what? People were clapping. They were like people on my side. And I'm like, it wasn't too bad, right? So yeah, learn how to just make mistakes. If you learn how to make it, you won't be so tense all the time, right? Just learn how to make mistakes. So, all right, man, we are giving you guys value today, unbelievable value, right? You guys need to share this. We need for 1,000 people to see what we talked about today. 1,000, that is the goal. So I want each and every one of you, if you're listening to my voice right now, I want you to share this on LinkedIn, share this on Facebook, share it on YouTube, share it on Instagram, share it everywhere you can. Let people hear the good news that you heard today. All right, so Leah, real quick, what is the question you were talking about? Let's address it real quick, and then you can wrap it up. I think you saw a question that I didn't see.
You were saying something about what is the biggest skill? What was the skill that was the biggest turning point? It was the skill that was the biggest turning point. I would say for me, it's really understanding that there's always another level. And what I mean by that is in running, they call it a runner's high. When you think that you're in, that you've given it all, and then you find another level, guess what? That's the same thing in business. Understanding that when things get challenging, anyone can be excited when things are not challenging. And by the way, if we did this at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody would have said, I'll do this. But guess what? I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to be here at 4 a.m. People thought it was crazy. And so what I'm saying is understand there's always another level. And by the way, crazy people rule the world. Over to you, Mr. Annie.
By far, my biggest turning point was thinking into results, realizing that's our thoughts that become our reality. And I didn't want to believe that. I thought, no. It's harder work harder, work more. Then eventually I've had to realize and admit what people were telling me for years. Your thoughts is what's going to make you or break you. And I've just learned to just calm down. And just now I know that I'm just calm down, be intentional, and just calm down. And things happen. You'd be amazed what happens when you truly find yourself and your peace. And that's life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Annie. That's a great way to close out today. I appreciate all of you being here. Annie said, Leah said, crazy people rule the world. Do you know if you set out on your life and you want to be like everybody else, you want to conform and do what everybody else does, you will never fulfill your full potential. It's sad. It will just be sad because you will not fulfill your full potential. So you do have to be a little bit crazy. You got to do things that most people are. Leah's a little crazy to wake up that early. But guess what? She gets business from it. She helps people from it, right? You gotta be a little crazy. Don't be afraid of what people will say about you because people will talk about you anyway. People will talk about you anyway. Trust me. My famous line is: if you live under a bridge, people will talk about you. If you live in a mansion, people will talk about you, right? Give them something good to talk about. All right. So we will see you all. So next week we will not have this call next week because I will be in North Carolina. Ready to get on stage. So I hope to see every single one of you. If you're listening to this right now, I hope to see you on the big screen, 6-foot Zoom screens. on the 23rd and 24th, which is Monday and Tuesday of next week. And we're going to have 15 fantastic speakers. You can watch it live, and just go on link on my page or Coral's page, and you'll see how to get your free ticket to come on the call. All right. So we appreciate everybody being here. Again, share this with as many people as you can. Let's break the internet. Break it. Totally break it. All right. So appreciate all of you. It has been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be here with you this morning. Take care, everybody. See you next time. Bye bye.